Hey guys, it's Clay, and today I'm going to draw my life for you. So, I know most people do draw my life once they've been on YouTube for a while, but I was thinking, what better way for you guys to get to know me than for you to hear the story of my life? Alright, so here it goes. I was born on December 30th, 2000 in the capital city of Madison, Wisconsin. My parents, Tom and Sarah, named me Claire Elizabeth Reed. My dad is a dentist and my mom is a nurse. When I was first born, we lived in a little blue and white house and had two cats named Maury and Holly. Less than 2 years later, on June 8th, 2002, I became a big sister to Anna Catherine. When Anna first came home from the hospital, my mom left Anna and I alone in the living room while she went to go answer the phone. When my mom returned, I was sitting on top of Anna yelling, "Giddy up, baby!" Because our family just kept growing, we moved to a new house in 2003. On March 3rd, 2004, my sister Abigail Celeste Reed was born. When my mom asked me what I thought of my new little sister, I told my mom to send her back to the zoo. Around the same time that Abby was born, my mom signed me up for gymnastics classes at a place called Badger Gymnastics Academy. I instantly fell in love with the sport of gymnastics. A few months later, I started preschool. I didn't really have any friends in preschool because I was somewhat shy. I was also very aggressive. At recess, I would always knock down other kids' sandcastles. A few years later, my little brother Luke Nicholas Reed was born on August 9th, 2006. A couple days after Luke was born, I started kindergarten at St. Maria Goretti School. It was there that I met my first friend, Scarlett. She's still my best friend to this day. In first grade, I made some more friends, including Sophia, who's still also one of my best friends. More than a year later, on January 24th, 2009, my brother Ryan Alexander Reed was born. I was very proud because I got to name him. A month after Ryan was born, we moved into a big, beautiful house that my parents had built. It was outside of town and in the middle of the woods, so there were miles of forest to explore. On Father's Day in June 2009, my life would change forever. My siblings and I were in the basement watching TV. My parents called us upstairs because they said they had something important to talk to us about. To this day, I still remember this moment so vividly. My mom was sitting on the couch, and me and my sisters were standing in front of her. She looked right into our eyes before uttering the words, "Your dad and I are getting a divorce." I knew that divorce was very common. In fact, 50% of marriages end in divorce. However, I never thought it would happen to my family. I cried for hours. I cried the whole night. The next morning, my dad, who was still living with us, had already left to go to work when I woke up. He had left me a cup of warm milk on the kitchen table, along with a note that read, "Dear Claire, don't worry, I promise I'll be back tonight. I love you." I waited the whole night for him to come home. He never did. Every day I waited. He never came back home. I didn't even get to see him again for 3 months. I got to see my dad again a few months later. My siblings and I visited him every Wednesday, Friday, and every other weekend at his apartment. I feel that the divorce has just made my relationship with my dad stronger. Today, he's the first person I go to whenever I need advice or someone to talk to. The divorce had also caused my family to become bankrupt. Our big house in the woods was foreclosed. And in November of 2009, my mom, my siblings, and I moved into one of my grandparents' houses. 2 years later, in 2011, when I was 10 years old, I began suffering from an eating disorder known as anorexia. I got very sick and at one point only weighed 60 pounds. Thankfully, with the help of friends and family, I was fully recovered by 2014. On September 20th, 2011, my dad married his true love, Rolando. Rolando's a really cool guy who's a professional artist and a Mexican immigrant. It had taken my dad the first 35 years of his life to have the courage to come out as gay, mostly due to religious reasons. Now he could finally be himself, and he couldn't be any happier. At the beginning of 2011, I had made it my New Year's resolution to make the gymnastics team. After a year of hard work and dedication, on what happened to be my 11th birthday, the owner of the gymnastics place informed me that I'd made the team. I was overjoyed and felt so accomplished. At the same time, I was nearing the end of my 5th grade year, and I desperately desired to be one of the popular kids. So I left my amazing group of friends, and for months spent all of my time and energy trying to become friends with the popular girls. I would sit at their lunch table, and I even bought them gifts, but no matter how hard I tried, they always ignored me. Every day at recess, the popular girls played a version of tag that I would later learn was actually called Run Away from Claire. The concept of the game is that I was always it. Before I started chasing the other girls, I had to close my eyes and give them a 30-second head start. During the head start, the popular girls would go hide behind the school where they would gossip about me. I would spend all of recess searching for them, and I was never able to find them. Until one day, I looked behind the school and I did find them. They didn't notice me at first, so for a few minutes I listened to them talk badly about me until I ran away crying. I hid outside and skipped school for the rest of the day. The popular girls just kept being mean to me. However, I kept trying to be their friend until nearly the end of 8th grade. Today, I acknowledge that as one of the biggest regrets of my life. Later that year, on July 6th, 2012, my mom got remarried to a man named John. I didn't like John at all. He always made fun of me and we always fought with each other. A month later, my sisters and I were playing outside on our swing set. My sister Anna pushed me off of a swing and I landed on my head. I was unconscious for a few minutes before being rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. The doctors said I was lucky not to be paralyzed. Thankfully, I'd only gotten a concussion and fractured my neck, although I did have to wear a cast on my neck for the next few weeks. In December 2012, I was kicked off the gymnastics team. The owner gave no explanation of why. She just said I had to leave. After I had left that gym, the owner went on Instagram and left me all sorts of mean comments full of curse words. I sat in my mom's closet and cried for hours. A few weeks later, I switched to a new gymnastics place called Gymfinity. Gymfinity instantly became my favorite place in the whole world, my escape from all of my struggles in life. It was there that I met one of my favorite people, my honorary big sister, Rachel. Rachel was my gymnastics coach, and she and I bonded right away. She was the first person besides my dad that I could ever trust. Every day, I would come to practice 2 hours early so that I could hang out with Rachel in her office. We would talk, laugh, and share our personal stories and struggles. On June 14, 2013, my mom and her husband John had a baby boy named Will Nathaniel Roy. I was so excited to have a sibling so much younger than me that I could babysit and help take care of. In 2014, my friend Scarlett and I created a YouTube channel. I had always loved making movies with my mom's video camera. However, I hadn't discovered YouTube until then. Scarlett and I posted a lot of videos and eventually reached 1,000 subscribers. But, much to my annoyance, my mom deleted the YouTube channel in 2015. So, at the beginning of 2014, I'd made it my goal to make the Level 7 gymnastics team. It is one of the highest level teams at Gymfinity. I went to practice every day, even though we were only required to go 3 times a week. For the whole year, I focused all my time and energy into training to make the Level 7 team. In early 2015, I tried out for the Level 7 team. I didn't make the team. I was completely crushed. I felt like all my hard work had been for nothing. I became depressed and I struggled with body image, self-esteem, and other harmful things. At this time in my life, I was in 8th grade. I was still attending St. Maria Goretti School where I had been for the past 9 years. 8th grade was probably the hardest year of my life. On top of my own personal struggles, I was also constantly bullied by the popular girls. I would cry all the time. I just felt so worthless. It got so bad that I often spent entire school days hidden in the bathroom, skipping all of my classes. I even tried to get kicked out of school. I purposefully misbehaved whenever I could. I talked back, made fun of teachers, and even set a notebook on fire. However, my plan completely backfired. I did not get kicked out of school. I did, however, have to serve lots of detention. Plus, misbehaving only caused me to get made fun of even more. In May 2015, I finally graduated from St. Maria Goretti. I was so happy to have graduated and be away from the girls who had bullied me. That summer, I became much happier and recovered from most of my struggles. In August, my dad's family and I went on an awesome camping trip across the United States in an RV we rented. We visited so many amazing places like the Mall of America, the Badlands, Mount Rushmore, and Devil's Tower. A couple days after we got back from our vacation, my mom got into a big argument with Rachel, who was still my gymnastics coach at the time. My mom decided that she didn't want me to be friends with Rachel anymore. My mom also forced me to leave Gymfinity. Just as my life was beginning to look better, it took a turn for the worse again. I had lost my place of refuge and a very good friend. However, life got so much better when I started high school. I joined the cross-country team, sang in the school choir, and met so many amazing new friends. This November, I joined my high school gymnastics team. After 3 months of not being able to do gymnastics, I was very excited to be able to practice again. However, it was hard to transition into a new team and make friends with them. All of my teammates are very nice though, and I'm getting to know them. One of the coolest things about being on the team is that I got to be the only freshman to compete on varsity. Now that brings us back to the present day, February 2016. In the future, I hope to go to college, travel the world, get married, become a YouTube star, and continue to be truly healthy and happy. Well, anyway, that's the intriguing tale of my life thus far. Thank you guys so much for watching the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye!